2023-2024 NFL running back tier list. Keep in mind there are a bunch of rookies that we won't be able to talk about right now, like Blake Corum. This year's running back class doesn't have nearly as much talent as last year's class, at least on paper. So we won't be ranking any of those guys. We've got 5 tiers: elite, 1K plus yards, solid, should split reps, and then true RB2 material. You can think of it as S, A, B, C, and D, but frankly, if you're starting NFL running back, you're not shit. So running back is a position where like 80% of the league kind of feels like the same back. And then there's a couple real standout guys. So I didn't think it was fair to really have a D tier. All right, where do we start? Let's start with the easiest one on this list. Christian McCaffrey in elite tier. Bell cow running back who can run the ball incredibly effectively, can catch the ball incredibly effectively. He's exactly how you would make a running back in a lab. The only guy that I am tempted to put in the tier with Christian McCaffrey is Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is probably the most, I don't want to say underrated because I think people understand how good he is, but he is not talked about with the amount of skill that he has. Obviously, last season, Nick Chubb did get injured, but can we just talk about this absolutely, undeniably ridiculous stat line that Nick Chubb has put up every single year since he's been in the league? This man averages on his career 5.3 yards per carry. Every time you are handing the ball to Nick Chubb, he is getting you halfway to a first down on average. That is disgusting. Now, I think the Browns offense is very favorable for running backs. I'll definitely throw that into the equation, but Nick Chubb is so unbelievably good. I really hope the injury doesn't set him back too far. I want to see more full season Nick Chubb. Look at this, man. A lot of times you see running backs do this their first and their second year, and then you see a really steep drop off after that. And I think what differentiates really, truly incredible running backs being able to do this. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's almost getting better. Very few guys can do that. Nick Chubb deserves this. I can't really put him elite since he didn't play full last season, and who knows how he will be coming off this injury, but I'm putting him there. The only other guy that really does that is Derrick Henry. Father Time really is not kind to running backs. Derrick Henry is one of very few running backs that can play this many years and continue to put up 1,000-yard seasons. Coming off an 1,200-yard season. My only knock on Derrick Henry is not really a knock, but the reason I can't put him in elite tier is he's a bit one-dimensional. I would put him obviously in the elite tier in this 2020 season when he did the 2,000 rushing yards, but at some point he's kind of a volume guy. The Titans offense for a while is just hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. He's going to run at the middle. He's bigger than everybody. He's going to run them over. This is not a knock on Derrick Henry. He is absolutely a top 3 running back in the league, but I'm not putting him up there with Christian McCaffrey. And frankly, I actually think this order is correct. I think the best in the league is McCaffrey. I think the second best in the league is Nick Chubb, and I think the third best in the league is Derrick Henry. Gosh, if I had to go to the fourth best, and by the way, these are all guys that I see in this upcoming season going over 1,000 yards. I absolutely see Nick Chubb full season doing that. Same with Derrick Henry, guaranteed. McCaffrey's going to do it. Saquon Barkley is my next one. I have always personally loved Saquon Barkley. On the Giants is just kind of a bummer, especially when you're a team where no one is scared of your passing threat. They are going to load the box and it's going to be more difficult for you. And Derrick Henry really has seen that his whole career. Saquon Barkley, like with Derrick Henry and the Titans, a lot of times they just know they're going to hand it off to him. There's still nothing they can do about it. The Giants was an even worse scenario of that. So when you look at Saquon Barkley's career, it's not as impressive as a guy like Nick Chubb or a guy like Derrick Henry. But if you take a look really volume-wise, 2022 season, the Giants, he had 295 attempts, 1,300 yards, 4.4 yards per carry. Now in 2022, Derrick Henry has got 3 more touchdowns, 200 more yards, but he's also got 60 more attempts. I honestly believe that Saquon Barkley is one of the most talented running backs in the league just on paper. I just don't think he's been able to flourish in a New York Giants organization that I don't think has done him any favors. I'm so excited to see him in Philadelphia, where hopefully has a really big breakout season, because I've been on the Saquon train for a long time, and I don't know, I don't think he's as explosive as his rookie season. I don't think he's there anymore, but hopefully he can still have a really, really solid season. I think rookie Saquon, or really even sophomore season Saquon, in a better offense where we can really see him utilized properly, might be an elite running back, but I'm not comfortable putting him there. I'm keeping him in the 1K tier. I need another tier. This looks much better now, because there's so many guys that are better than solid. Like, I'm not going to put a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs in solid. I'm not going to say that. He's better than solid. I'm also not going to put a guy like Bijan Robinson. I'm not putting Bijan Robinson in solid. He's better than that, but I'm not ready to put him up with these guys either. I cannot be putting Jahmyr Gibbs in the same tier as Nick Chubb. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I want to see more out of him. I can't put him up there with Nick Chubb. Now, I think if we're going to talk about a 1,000+ rushing yard season, we do got to talk about all the players in the league who just did it. A great example is Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams was the 3rd in the league in rushing yards. And what's so incredible, Derrick Henry, 1167, but he's got 52 more attempts than Kyren Williams had. Kyren Williams, if he got the volume that Derrick Henry had, he's kind of in the Christian McCaffrey range. He really could have led the league if he wasn't injured for those 2 games. And honestly, as I say that, I'm realizing I'm just naming these wrong and I'm confusing myself. I'm gonna rename this Superstar. Sorry, guys. Because yes, honestly, I think Kyren Williams will have another 1,000+ season, but I'm not ready to put Kyren Williams with these guys either. So in the star category, let's start with a few guys there. I think Kyren Williams, absolutely a star running back. That's not Kyren Williams. Is that Kyren Williams? Isn't that Cam Akers? Yeah, that's Cam Akers. Guys, we're all gonna pretend that this is Kyren Williams, okay? Star. Absolutely. Another star running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. No question. Jahmyr Gibbs had absurdly good efficiency, almost 5 yards per carry, if not a little bit more. 5.2 yards per carry on 182 attempts. Now, granted, it's nice to be splitting reps with another good running back. It does make your average yards per carry better. You're not fatigued, right? So this is a bit of a cherry pick stat, but 10 touchdowns, 5.2 yards per carry, and he was not a bell cow running back. He gets star. Bijan Robinson's a freak show. I don't need to do stats on this one. I can't put him up here with these guys yet, but if you're starting an NFL franchise, you would be so happy to have any of these 3 guys, Kyren Williams, Bijan Robinson, or Jahmyr Gibbs. Jonathan Taylor is a really difficult one because we all know Jonathan Taylor's absolutely ridiculous 2021 season where he had 332 carries, 1,800 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, and 18 touchdowns. But since that, we saw big regression last year. We see an injury now. This, honestly, sadly, this is kind of what most NFL running backs 4-year tenure looks like. You see these electric rookie years when they got the fresh legs. You see an injury. You see it kind of start to decline, and it's only those really rare players that defy this logic. Frankly, the guys that have defied it are right here, Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry. And then these other guys in star are really young. So I can't put Jonathan Taylor up in superstar with these guys. Maybe he can defy it. Maybe he can come back this season and be incredible, but I'm not putting him any higher than star right now. A personal bias, I will put Kenneth Walker in star. I think he is absolutely incredible. He's had some really good seasons, and he's split a few reps here and there with Zach Charbonnet, so he's not really a bell cow statistically. I can't have Kenneth Walker in solid. I just can't. I'm a little biased, but I just can't do it. Now, as I look at some of these other guys, I gotta be honest, the stats are just very deceiving sometimes, especially for running backs. Let's talk about a guy like Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert is an 1,000+ rusher on 209 carries. That's really impressive, but I don't think that says that Raheem Mostert is a top 10 running back in the league. I really don't. Same goes for Najee Harris. Najee Harris wasn't a 1,000+ rusher this season, but Najee Harris looked so slow this season. Najee Harris did not look anything like rookie Najee Harris. Watching the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense and watching Najee Harris, I cannot confidently put him up with some of these other guys. Same thing with James Conner. I like James Conner. I like that he's a 1,000+ rusher. I'm not taking him over any of these 5 guys. I'm taking all 5 of these guys over James Conner. I'm not just talking about fantasy football either. I really mean watching game, the eye test. I'm going to put those guys in solid. So let's start with the solid tier here. Joe Mixon. I think he's lost a step. I really do think he's lost a step. We'll see how he is in Houston. I don't think this is the same Joe Mixon we've seen in the past. I hope I'm proved wrong. In fact, I would love to be proved wrong by all of these guys because running back is such a brutal position in the NFL. It's so unforgiving. I think Joe Mixon has lost a step. I think James Conner goes in that same solid tier. I think Miles Sanders is your quintessential solid running back. He's a solid running back. He is nothing more and nothing less. Raheem Mostert can go in solid as well. Here's another one. This one's gonna be really controversial. I'm not sold on James Cook. Statistically, James Cook, great rookie season. I'm not taking James Cook over any of the guys in this 6. I'm taking Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan, and Kyren Williams before I'm taking James Cook. I don't feel like I can put him in the same tier. He really did have a solid season, but I don't know. The running back position is difficult. That's all I'm gonna say about it, but I'm keeping James Cook in solid. One more good season out of him, and I will have no choice but to move him up. And frankly, there might be a swap here. I could see out of the guys in star, I see Bijan having an excellent season. Same with Kyren, same with Jahmyr, and same with Jacobs. I think Jonathan Taylor and Kenneth Walker are the 2 guys that I could see potentially having a regression. So these guys are on my drop watch right now. DeAndre Swift. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. Maybe. DeAndre Swift was 5th in the league in rushing yards. I am so underwhelmed by DeAndre Swift. The Lions traded DeAndre Swift because we weren't, too excited about him. And I think Philly was just such a favorable place to be that he's putting up great stats, but I wasn't too excited about DeAndre Swift, and I'm not putting him in star up with those guys either. Who I will put up there, though, Travis Etienne. I think Travis Etienne is excellent. He was an 1,000-plus rusher this season. He was an 1,000-plus rusher last season. He's a very complete running back. He's good in the pass game, too. And frankly, when you look at rushing stats for 2023 was honestly an off year for like every single position. Lamar Jackson won the MVP on a very not spectacular season. The league leader in rushing yards had 1,400. Okay, and then these next guys are all barely eclipsing 1,000. Let's compare that to 2022, where you've got 3 guys at 1,500 plus. Saquon at 1,300 plus. It's not even close. Compare that to 2021, where Jonathan Taylor hits 1,800 plus, and then the big year where you've got Derrick Henry's 2K is 2020. Dalvin Cook hit 1,500. It was just a really shitty year for running backs. Statistically, it was not an impressive year for really anybody. Okay, there's nobody I want to succeed more than Breece Hall, but it has been a very difficult regime for Breece Hall. This will be the season that we see if Breece Hall is truly a star or superstar or not, because Aaron Rodgers is behind the helm. There was just nothing going for this Jets offense because of Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson. Sleep with my friend's mom all you want, bro, but it just is not a friendly offense for your running back when you guys can't pass the ball effectively. So Breece Hall, I'm putting him in solid. I hope he can be star or superstar. Okay, let's get in a few should split reps. Zeke Elliott is a shell of his former self, and I think he's best suited in a role where he's splitting reps. Let's keep going with this. By the way, also, I need to throw this in here. Jaylen Warren. Holy shit, I love Jaylen Warren. I'm not putting him in star tier, but I love Jaylen Warren. I want Jaylen Warren to start over Najee. Jaylen Warren is so much more explosive. Honestly, it's probably good that they split reps because they're different styles of running back, but I love Jaylen Warren. Alvin Kamara is a star running back. Debate a wall. I can't put, can I put Kamara in superstar? I'm keeping Kamara in star because it's not the same Kamara from 2 years ago, but damn, Kamara is so good. I think this tier is just hard to breach. That's all. I'm putting Najee right next to Jaylen Warren. Unhitch the trailer, Najee. Where is rookie Najee, bro? Where'd he go? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is like a brutal drop off. And frankly, I actually think Austin Eckler will be splitting reps in this upcoming season with Washington. He dropped off so fast. Austin Eckler has been such an amazing running back. He has such an amazing story, an undrafted free agent. But this last season, I couldn't believe it. Actually, I couldn't. Hold up. Can we watch the video? All right, now I just want to say as I play this clip, I understand that it's just one run, right? It's just one run. Doesn't say everything, but let's just watch this real quick. Okay, so someone tracked this, by the way. He hit a top speed of 13 miles per hour. Geno Smith in OTAs hit a top speed of 20.3 miles per hour. Geno Smith, on his career, he's averaging 4.4 yards per carry. This last season, 3.5 yards per carry. The thing is, the running back position is not like the quarterback position. In the quarterback position, you can have a horrible season or multiple, and then you finally find the right offense or you find the right scheme or something clicks, and all of a sudden you're playing great. I think Baker Mayfield's a good example. The running back position is not like that. You need fresh legs and explosiveness, and beyond that, I don't see how he just comes back and revives his former self. I just don't see it. I'm keeping him in should split reps. I mean, some of these guys are not even worth like putting in here. Like Samaje Perine should split reps, right? Jerick McKinnon should split reps. These guys are like 30 plus. It's not even worth ranking. Let's talk about the guys that we really should rank. Here's the guy who I think I lost a big step. I think Dalvin Cook did lose a big step too. I don't know where I would put Dalvin Cook right now. I don't think he's a should split reps guy. I think he's a solid running back, but Tony Pollard, I am not sold on Tony Pollard. Tie me up and bend me over. I'm not sold on Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard had some crazy hype coming into the season, like, oh, he's finally RB1 for the Cowboys, and he just underperformed. For Tony Pollard in his bell cow season with the Dallas Cowboys, he's got 252 attempts for just barely over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. Dallas Cowboys love to run the football. Dallas Cowboys have a very friendly offense for running backs. I don't think this is a really good enough stat line for Tony Pollard. For comparison, James Conner has more rushing yards on 44 less attempts, and he's on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm keeping him in solid tier. I'm sorry, Tony Pollard. Dameon Pierce is solid. Gosh, like last season, I thought he was going to be amazing because of that first season, and then I don't know what happened there. I really don't know what happened there with Dameon Pierce. Pacheco's a star. Pacheco's a star. The Kansas City Chiefs don't give a shit about their running backs, and Isaiah Pacheco still manages to be such an incredible running back. I really like Isaiah Pacheco. I hope he has a superstar-esque season. I'll put Pacheco in star for now. Aaron Jones is still a star. superstar running back? Absolutely. Aaron Jones is excellent. It's sad that Green Bay did him kind of dirty. A.J. Dillon's solid, though. He's all right. There's nothing crazy about A.J. Dillon. I like him. He's a good splitting reps guy. Although I feel like I got to move some of these guys. I mean, yeah, I guess I could put guys in RB2. I love Jamal Williams. He's not a starting running back. He's just not. I'm sorry, Jamal Williams. It was a fun season with the Lions. You were a rushing touchdown shark, and I loved it. You're not an RB1. Samaje Perine not an RB1. Fournette is no longer an RB1. Javonte Williams is solid. I think he has a lot of potential. I almost need a tier for, like, potential. Javonte Williams still has really good potential. Same with, you know, Breece Hall. Same with Jalen Warren. Same with James Cook. Same with Pollard. But just not there yet. I'm not sold on Ramondre Stevenson. I'm putting him in solid. I'm just not sold. It's not fun being on the Patriots, though. Not right now. Donta Foreman is solid. I like it when Donta Foreman comes in. He always has a couple games where he just goes off. I like him. Hey, is there anybody else who want a Rojo is solid? I think this is Antonio Gibson. He's solid, and Brian Robinson's solid. Neither of these guys really blow me away. Kareem Hunt is a really good backup running back to have. He's solid. Honestly, I'm leaving my list like this. In his own league is Christian McCaffrey. The superstar running backs, like the guys who should be getting paid the big money, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. After that is the stars, Kyron Williams. Sorry, it's Cam Akers, but it's Kyron Williams. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. Kyron Williams, Kamara, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, K9, Travis Etienne, Isaiah Pacheco, Aaron Jones. And then you've got your solid running backs. Not quite stars, but it's a solid RB1. James Cook, Tony Pollard, Jalen Warren and Najee, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, James Conner, Miles Sanders, Raheem Mostert, DeAndre Swift, Dalvin Cook. Can I really put Damian Pearson solid? I don't know about these two. I'm getting questionable with these two. This is my NFL running back tier list. Save your casual comments for, I'm gonna rank every NFL team right before the team starts, so you can save it for that. All right, y'all. Hey, I love you guys. Thanks so much. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.